Games from a similar time don't always hold up by today's standards, so I've made a list of games that still do. Here are 7 good old games which you may have forgotten about. Quick disclaimer, one of the main reasons for picking these games is that they're still easily accessible today. There isn't a need for emulators or buying physical copies. I'll link where you can get them in the description. Up first we have Oddworld Abes Oddysee. Quick backstory, if you haven't played Abe's first adventure, your character Abe is an alien slave worker at a food production company that sees profits decline. Abe's boss decides that the best way to get these profits back up is to use his alien slaves as the main ingredient for the new product line. From this odd start, you're thrown straight into a classic platforming game as Abe tries to save his fellow Mudokons from the evil food corporation they work for. The gameplay in Abes Oddysee is all about figuring out the best time to make your move. As you can see from my gameplay, it's not as easy as it sounds, but that's part of the fun. Add some funny voice acting from Abe and it's easy to see why so many people love this timeless classic when it came out in the late 90s. But up next we have to talk about one of my favourite games when I was younger, The Incredible Machine 2. The Incredible Machine series is all about getting a collection of random items working in a really complicated way, but only to carry out a simple task. It sounds like it's a bit wacky, and to be fair, it is, but once you've got the hang of it, the gameplay is very addictive, and you can spend hours playing through these levels, being creative and thinking of new ways to complete each objective the game sets you. I've put number 2 on the list, as this is my favourite, and I'm sure that the other games are easily accessible too if you prefer. The Incredible Machine's needlessly complex way of doing simple tasks, like moving a ball into a box, is what makes the game charming and still fun today. Additionally, you can set your own challenges for your friends, just to see how creative they can get with the tools you've given them. Next up we have Commandos, Behind Enemy Lines. Commandos is a strategy game where you're in control of a team of soldiers who each have different skills that are required to complete each mission. The game challenges you by starting in difficult positions, sometimes with your soldiers separated and sometimes surrounded by the enemies from the get-go. What I like about Commandos is there's so much choice in how you complete the missions you've been tasked with. The game is supposed to be played in a stealth fashion, but that's not to say you can't get away with being a bit loud and using some heavy firepower. I don't know many games to date that give you similar gameplay to Commandos, and I think this is still such a great game even by today's standards. Halfway through our list and we've got Worms Armageddon. Again, part of a series, but this one has to be my favourite, as I think they've got the design and gameplay spot on. If you haven't played Worms, the whole idea is to blow up other people's worms before they blow your worms up. You're given an arsenal of different weapons to do this with, which makes it fun and exciting trying out tactics using different grenades, different guns. They've even got airstrikes in this game. Couple this with the different customization options you have available from the get-go, and Worms Armageddon is a great game with so much character. On top of all this, if you have someone at home, you can get a game on multiplayer going and it will give you hours of competitive action. Next on our list we have Roller Coaster Tycoon. If you fancy yourself a theme park designer, then this is the sim game for you. In Roller Coaster Tycoon you have the ability to create and design your own theme park from scratch. From the queue designs to the rides, even where to place the food stalls, there is so much choice. It gives you an easy layout without making things too complicated, so you can jump straight in, even if you're a new player. The game gives you hours of playtime, and it's fun to remove the paths of the exits if you get bored. Just to see how people react in a crisis. The penultimate entry is the PC classic Lemmings. Lemmings, for the uninitiated, is a puzzle platformer, all about helping a group of green-haired minions get to the goal at the end of the level. You are given certain skills for each level to help you to get to that goal, and you're limited in how many of the lemmings can learn each skill. This is where it makes it challenging in the game. That and the fact that the lemmings don't stop coming, so you better figure out how to get to that goal pretty quick. Lemmings has a 20-hour main story, and that's if you're good at the game, so if you're like me, then there's hours and hours and hours of gameplay here for you to enjoy, or get frustrated with. Last on our list is Monkey Island. If you haven't played Monkey Island, it's a point and click game with laugh out loud humour. Monkey Island became popular at the time of release due to this humour, as well as its player-friendly gameplay, which wasn't a common thing at the time. You play as Guybrush Threepwood, who is trying his hardest to become a mean, scary, grog-drinking pirate. The best thing about Guybrush as a character is his ability to make it easy for every NPC to make fun of him. I'd imagine I'd have a similar experience if I tried to become a gangster rapper, for example. Monkey Island forces the player to use their brain, as nothing is given to you and you have to be very clever with the items that you pick up. Guybrush's Jack Sparrow quest is filled with great NPC dialogue and challenging puzzles for you to get your teeth stuck into. That's my list of good old games I cannot wait to play over the quarantine period. What are some of the old games you guys are going to be booting back up? Leave a comment and let me know, and be sure to hit like if you enjoyed this video, it really helps me out. If you like these sorts of videos, I'm going to try and make some more. Please subscribe. And thanks for watching. See you next time.